there has been a national effort to deregulate licensure. And by licensure, I mean everything from cosmetology to healthcare professions to highly technical professions.
I think there's been an attempt across the country, kind of a bipartisan push for reform. And while reform in and of itself isn't a bad thing, it just needs to be done so thoughtfully.
Licensing reform is the idea that what we have isn't bad, but it could be better.
Anti-licensing policies seek to remove or deregulate licensing in general. It differs from licensing reform, which seeks to streamline licensing requirements to make them more effective and efficient. Anti-licensure policies are coming from think tanks and stakeholders who have a vested interest in removing as many regulations as possible.
It's the concept that there is no value to a license. The kind of anti-government, there's too much government, there's over-government, and there's a lack of understanding from these folks about the role that licensing plays in protecting the public.
There is an incredible amount of knowledge that has to be behind the actions of the licensed professions. And professions and occupations really are not the same thing and should not be thought about in the same way.
I think there is a misconception that licensure introduces barriers for individuals. Quite frankly, licensure is the opposite. It actually is a positive thing for individuals because it creates a level playing field and consistency in the requirements to obtain access to a profession. We've learned through research that licensure is an equalizer for women and minorities.
Sometimes there are professions that are licensed that maybe don't need to be. And unfortunately, in a lot of cases, the anti-license people are anti all licenses. But in the professions, CPAs, engineers, architects, landscape architects, those are professions where you want to make absolutely sure that the person you hire has the latest information and is completely up to date and competent.
These efforts are approaching licensing in a really different way that is in essence destructive to the protections of the public. And I think I would ask someone, do you want your bridge to be standing? Do you want your financial markets to be solid? That's the role of regulation. The state confers a license to an individual and they put safeguards in place that really protect the public.
There's high stakes involved when practicing those professions. Deregulating technical professions like architecture has the potential to harm the public.
75% of the public think that there is a need for highly skilled, highly technical professions to be licensed.
It's a trust builder for the public when they know that an individual is licensed, they know that that person is adequately trained to work and protect their interests.
Anti-licensing measures would put consumers and the public at risk.
Lawmakers should know their constituents trust licensing and are wary of anti-licensing measures.